The guy who supposedly can't race on ovals just spent an entire night running up front with the best oval racers in NASCAR. He led laps. He passed Ty Gibbs for the lead. He held off Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, and Denny Hamlin, and then he said something into his in-car radio that nobody saw coming. 11th place doesn't usually feel like a victory. But for Shane Van Gisbergen at Charlotte on Sunday night, that 11th place finish might just be the scariest thing the rest of the NASCAR Cup field has seen all year. And here's why every other driver in that garage should be paying attention right now. The Coca-Cola 600 is the longest race in NASCAR. It's also the race that pays out the most points all season. And in that big race, on a tough oval, the New Zealander everyone calls SVG didn't just show up. He ran with the best drivers in the sport, lap after lap, all night long. Let's back up for a second. SVG is the guy who came over from Australian supercars and started winning road course races right away in NASCAR. We're talking the twisty tracks with left and right turns. Tracks like Watkins Glen, where he just won the week before. But ovals? Those big banked circles? That's the part of NASCAR that has given him the most trouble. Most Cup drivers have been racing on ovals since they were little kids. SVG didn't grow up doing that, so when he goes oval racing, he's playing catch-up. Up until Charlotte, his best oval finish in the Cup Series this year was 6th place. Not bad, but not great either. Sunday night was different. Sunday night was something new. Now, here's how the weekend even started. The rain came down hard at Charlotte, so hard that qualifying got washed out completely. When that happens, NASCAR uses a special math system to figure out where everybody starts. It's called the performance metric. It looks at how you finish the last race, plus where your team sits in the owner standings. Because SVG just smashed everyone at Watkins Glen the week before, that math put him 3rd on the starting grid. Right up at the front. The only guys ahead of him were Tyler Reddick, who leads the points, and Ty Gibbs. Pretty cool spot for a guy still learning ovals. But here's the funny part. In practice, earlier in the day, SVG was only the 25th fastest car. 25th! Nobody really expected much. Before the green flag waved, NASCAR held an emotional tribute for the late Kyle Busch. The whole place was heavy. Then the race started, and right away, Michael McDowell and Ryan Blaney pushed past SVG. By lap 3, he had dropped to 5th. That could have been the end of his good day. His Trackhouse racing teammates were already struggling, but SVG just hung in there. He kept his car inside the top 10 the entire first stage. Then Josh Berry spun in turn 2 and brought out the first caution. A little later, Austin Cindric and Connor Zilisch got tangled up in a big wreck. Chase Elliott also spun into the inside wall. Kyle Larson ended up winning stage 1, and SVG crossed the line in 10th. That gave him his first stage point of the night. Stage 2? Same story. Steady, steady, steady. While Larson, Chase Briscoe, and Denny Hamlin were fighting up front, SVG quietly climbed as high as 7th. Hamlin started running away from everyone and was even lapping cars, but SVG just kept hammering away. With 13 laps left in the stage, he was still 9th, still on the lead lap, while a lot of other guys were getting passed and shuffled. Hamlin won stage 2. SVG took 9th. 2 more stage points in the bank. Now things got really interesting in stage 3. SVG's crew made a smart call. They brought him to pit road a few laps before everyone else during the green flag stops. That little time difference let the 97 car gain ground before the rest of the field came in for fresh tires. When everything shook out, SVG was running up front. Christopher Bell ended up winning stage 3. SVG came home 7th. That's top 10 inches every single stage of the longest race in NASCAR. He hadn't done that on an oval since Martinsville. Then came the moment that probably has every other team going back to the drawing board this week. A caution came out in the final stage after Ross Chastain got tangled up with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. The teams had to pick a strategy: pit or stay out. Most cars dove down pit road. SVG stayed out. So did Ty Gibbs. When the race went green again, with 73 laps to go, it was Gibbs leading and SVG right behind him, and then SVG made his move. He shot to the outside lane, ripped through turns 1 and 2, and powered right past Ty Gibbs. SVG was leading the Coca-Cola 600. The Kiwi was running an oval race at the front of the field, holding off Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Larson. Those are guys who've been winning on ovals for years. SVG was beating them all, and he was loving it. Listen to how he described that pass after the race. "When I took the lead from the #54, I might have cheered a little bit, so you probably hear that on the in-car camera, but it was awesome." That's a guy who is usually pretty calm and quiet, admitting he was cheering inside his own car. That's how big a deal this moment was for him. He also talked about how his car was working perfectly. "I just felt confident all day, and it was really fun to run up front, and my car seemed to like being up by the wall, and it was pretty awesome. Running up by the wall on an oval is hard. You're inches from disaster. SVG made it look natural." But then, the rain came back, and this time, it didn't stop. After holding the lead for several laps, Bell got back around him out of turn 4 on lap 328. A lap later, Chase Briscoe ran into the back of Chris Buescher, sending the 17 spinning. Buescher took out his teammate, Ryan Preece. The race got messy. Then the skies opened up. NASCAR called the race after 373 of 400 laps. SVG ended up 11th. Daniel Suarez, of all people, ended up winning. That's the guy Trackhouse Racing let go at the end of last year. He paid tribute to Kyle Busch after the win. SVG was honest about his feelings. A bit pissed with the 11th, but it was an awesome day. Trackhouse Racing did a good job getting the car better and better. Once I started up the front, it was cool to stay there. Even with the disappointment, he knew what just happened was bigger than a finishing position. He led 11 laps. He ran 329 laps inside the top 10. He grabbed stage points in every single stage, and he jumped 2 spots in the championship standings, all the way up to 14th. That's actually within reach of the playoffs. He talked about why this whole oval thing is still a learning curve. There's a lot of light bulb moments still, but I think I'm quite a conservative person, or driver still. And I really benefit from the longer practice as well. SVG knows he's not a wild risk taker. He needs time on track to figure things out. And he's still figuring it out. It's just taking time. It's so different, this kind of racing. And I still learn something every week. But here's the kicker. The bigger meaning of all this. SVG already wins on road courses. Nobody beats him there. If he starts running top 5 and top 10 on ovals too, he becomes nearly impossible to beat over a full season. As Frontstretch put it after the race, if SVG can keep competing in the top 10 and top 5 on ovals, a win is not out of the question. Not at all. He's not just a road course guy anymore. He's becoming a complete driver. And the rest of the NASCAR field just got their warning at Charlotte. Up next is Nashville Super Speedway. Another oval. Another chance for SVG to keep building. He said it himself about the 97 team. "Every week it's so fun going to the racetrack, I feel like we're just building and building."